Download the BCSN Plus app today. Sidekicks on Sports Nightly is presented by Frogtown Johnny's, Toledo's #1 sports bar and grill since 1992.
Coach Francis Stevens joining us in studio. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Again, we were having a long discussion about this whole bracket stuff. We'll do that next week. We can do that next week. So a lot of fun stuff from this past week.
Before we get there, who's your girls' team of the week?
I'm going to go with the Clay Lady Eagles. They had a really rough start, obviously. You know, they've been kind of hanging around there, but right now in a really good position to win the NLL Cardinal Division. The only thing is they have a tie against Sylvania Southie, which was early in the year, but they play such a very challenging schedule. Their losses really have come to some really good teams, obviously like Notre Dame Academy, and they just lost to St. Ursula 4-0 recently. But 2 big shutout wins against Napoleon and also Springfield, 6-0 against Napoleon, 4-0 against Springfield just the other night. They got a big one coming up here eventually soon who can really decide who's going to win that Cardinal Division, but I really like where this Clay team is going.
As for your girls' player of the week, I can call her one of the more underrated players in all of Ohio.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I got Lauren McConaughey, obviously from Perrysburg. As I told you before we came on, I mean, Perrysburg is about as deep as a community pool anywhere. I mean, they got players everywhere, but Lauren she's a special player. I think the thing I like about her is just her motor that she has. You can kind of play her in a lot of different positions as a winger in the midfield. You can almost play her as a wing back or even as an outside back. But I really like what she's been able to bring to the table for this Perrysburg team. Again, I would probably say, at least in my mind, she's got probably one of the higher ceilings on that Perrysburg team. I think she's definitely the type of player with her technical ability, what's her movement on and off the ball. She can really make a lot of things happen. So Lauren was definitely going to be my pick, and it's very, very well deserved.
Who's your boys' team of the week?
Historically, this has probably been one of their worst starts they've ever had. But it's St. John's Jesuit. Obviously, such a big, big win for them last Thursday, beating Detroit Catholic Central 3-2 on the road. They were in that game the first time, ended up losing that game 2-1, went up there and got a big, big, significant win. That's kind of that win that's going to jumpstart you a little bit. And then last night, their performance went down 1-0 against the Ottawa Hills team on the road, responded really, really well. Great goal from Darwich and also from Kaywood as well, too. But I really think what's going to help this St. John's team is they have experience. I think they figured some things out. They went back to like a 3-5-2 last night, which was kind of able for them to start pushing players forward. Really like what Thomas Malley brought to the table as well, too. And they're playing some younger guys as well, too. You know, Jake Calcamujo had a great, great assist last night on Darwich's first goal in that game. So this St. John's team is starting to find their identity. They're finding it at the right time because guess what? Tournament City's on Sunday. Yeah, they might not have the resume, but they got a resume win against DCC and obviously against the Ottawa Hills team, who's still Ottawa Hills. They might not have the same team, but that was a big-time win for them, and I'm really, really happy to see where they're going. And it's going to be interesting here in a couple weeks to see who goes where in Division II. If they're in your bracket, you got to watch out for them because the Titans can make a run.
Who's your boys' player of the week?
I'm going to go over to the village of Ottawa Hills with Jaden Dubois, man. I tell you what, the kid they've had a tough year this year. Obviously lost a lot of players that did some really good things from over the course of last year. Obviously, Alex Duran, who's down at College of Charleston. But Jaden Dubois has been probably one of the most consistent defenders I've seen all season long. Big frame on him, probably about 6'2", 6'3", great speed, uses that physicality, but really keeps them very organized in the back. You know, it really takes a lot of pressure off of Pfeiffer to have to make saves. He's had to deal with some of the best players in Northwest Ohio. I thought he's really risen to every single occasion this year. So Jaden definitely gets this award this week. I really like what he's going to do, and he can be a big asset for this Ottawa Hills team, who is very, very used to making runs at this time of year. He can be a big, big piece of that.
You know what it's like to make a deep run, make it to a state Final Four, win a regional title. What is going to be the biggest difference between teams that get eliminated in the first round and teams that go on to play in Columbus in a state championship?
Well, I think the biggest piece for a lot of these teams is going to be, one, can you be consistent? Can you find a way to raise the level in those games? If you're a team that's favored to win, go out there, try to put that game away, and don't let those teams get back into a game because that can make it a lot interesting. So obviously that top 10 has not changed really. The biggest piece was Maumee Valley jumped up a little bit. They're number 3 in the state in Division IV. I really like what Dave Scozen's got with that group over there. And that's the type of group right there in Division IV. If they get hot, they can make a run because they got athletes all over the field. So the biggest piece is going to be, how do you put those things together? How do you have mental attrition? Because you're going to get challenged in some games that, you know, oh yeah, we rolled these guys in the regular season. Now we're down to them 2-1 with 15 minutes to go. So it takes some mental attrition and some resilience to be able to find ways to win games like that. But for me, a little bit, it's a lot of luck. I'm not going to say it was my coaching. You have some really good players in the mix of those things, and if they have experience and tournament experience, that takes you a long way.
A humble Coach Francis Stevens. It was your coaching that allowed your team to make deep runs.
Sometimes.
Francis Stevens joining us in studio. Next week, we'll be breaking down the brackets. You do not want to miss it, Coach.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man.